Hi guys, I'm Jay living in Seoul. The song we're gonna look at today is Life Goes On. Oh wait, this song just topped the Hot 100 Billboard chart. Congratulations BTS and ARMYs. I'm so happy for them. Actually, I'm so happy because they topped the Billboard chart with Korean lyrics and the lyrics are so meaningful in these tough times. As you know, this song describes the difficulties of these days. The world has stopped and footprints have disappeared due to a sudden pandemic situation. This song gave us comfort with their beautiful melodies, voices, and various performances. The way they performed on The Late Late Show was like a small movie, giving us a little hope that a better time would finally come. But most of all, we cannot leave out the lyrics they wrote themselves and the message they send us. In this video, we are gonna focus on the Korean lyrics and analyze its meaning. Let's dig into the Korean lyrics in more detail. 어느 날 is one day, 세상 is the world. 이 is a subjective particle and 멈췄어 means stopped. 아무런 is similar to any. 예고 is forewarning, notice, pre-notification. In this case, two is even, 하나 is one or single, 없이 is without. So 어느 날 세상이 멈췄어. 아무런 예고도 하나 없이. Means one day the world stopped without any notice or even a single notice. 예 means beforehand, in advance, ahead of time. 고 means informing, notifying. So 예고 means informing something in advance. It's similar to warning, but precisely speaking, it doesn't exactly mean a warning. It doesn't include any negative nuance at all. If you put 편, which means part, episode, clip, to the 예고, then 예고편 means trailer or preview. 봄 is spring. If you know the song Spring Day, you probably know this word. 은 is a subjective particle. 기다림 is a noun form of 기다리다, which means wait. In Korean, there are two ways to make a verb a noun form. One is to attach a meme to the stem and the other is to attach a key. In this case, the word 기다림 was completed by removing the from 기다리다 and attaching meme to the stem. 모르다 is don't know, so is used to indicate the cause. So 봄은 기다림을 몰라서 means because spring doesn't know waiting. 눈치 can be translated as tact. It's kind of noticing one's mind through situation, environment, or atmosphere. 없이 is without. 와 is conjugated form of 오다, which means come. 버렸어 means something happened. Something is already done before you reacting. So 봄은 눈치 없이 와버렸어 means spring has already come without caring about you. Then this time, let's take a closer look at 눈치. 눈치 is to guess, recognize, measure, or judge someone's feelings or current situations by looking at the atmosphere even if nobody tells you. Sometimes it means having a good sense, and sometimes it means being conscious of others too much. The word is commonly used in Korea and has also been used in various forms in their songs. Check the following lyrics. Let's move on to the RMs first. 아직도 멈추질 않아 저 먹구름보다 빨리 달려가 그럼 될 줄 알았는데 나 겨우 사람인가 봐 저 먹구름보다 빨리 달려가. The word I want to introduce is 먹구름. Maybe you know 구름 is cloud. Then why does 먹구름 mean dark clouds? 먹 is a traditional ink stick. It's completely black. Of course, when you mix it with water, the color becomes lighter and lighter, turning into watery gray. So dark clouds are almost black or dark gray with water. 먹구름 means that they hold so much rain, like black ink, that they are likely to pour soon. Now check rhymes of the lyrics. 몹시 아프네 세상이란 놈이 준 감기 덕분에 눌러보는 먼지 쌓인 되감기 세상이란 놈이 준 감기 덕분에 눌러보는 먼지 쌓인 되감기 세상 means the world, 이란 means named or called, 놈 is sky or dude, which is used informally. 감기 means cold or flu, so the lyrics means the cold that the world gave me. Up to this point, the frustration due to the sudden stop of the world has been expressed. He ran quickly to avoid the rain clouds that drenched him, but caught a cold and ended up getting sick. But in the very next lyrics, you can see the twist. Due to the word stop, he pressed the rewind button that he didn't care about for a while. 되감기 is a noun for 되감다, Earlier I explained two ways to make a verb a noun, and the second way of them was used here. 되감 때 is a basic form, and 되감 is a stem. So in this case, 기 is attached to 되감, and the noun form 되감기 has been made. In the two lines of lyrics, he showed a small twist in the atmosphere. The word made him sick, but he stopped there and pressed rewind button. It's very impressive that he made good use of the rhyme with the word 감기 while reversing this story. It's very brilliant. 덕분에 is usually translated as thanks to, but we can't say he actually wanted to say thanks to the stop of the word. It needs to be interpreted like he's just trying to find a little bit of a good side in total unfortunate situation. He's trying not to judge the situation only negatively. Despite difficulties, he's making his own efforts to find hope. This word also has been used by Suga in a real life when his mixtape T2 was released. He said this situation prompted him release his second mixtape, and at this point he used the word 덕분에. This also should be considered as exactly the same way with RM's verse. However, Aunties once found fault with his use of the word 덕분에. ARMYs knew so well how psychologically distressed and frustrated BTS members, including Suga, because of the pandemic situation. They had to go through such a hard time because the world tours and other schedules with ARMYs are all cancelled. Nevertheless, they have been struggling to see the least positive side. Aunties knew Korean but could not read the context. I just shook my head. Now let's move to the next lyrics. In the following lyrics, he asks to dance with him. 넘어진 채 청하는 엇박자의 춤. 넘어진 is an adjective form of 넘어지다, which means fall down or trip over, tumble over. 채 means while or doing something in some condition as it is. So 넘어진 채 means while he is falling down. 청하는 means asking. 엇박자 is offbeat, and 춤 is dance. In other words, the lyrics say, even though he tripped over, so he missed the beat, but nevertheless asks you to dance with him. 겨울이 오면 내쉬자 더 뜨거운 숨. 겨울 means winter. 이 is a subjective particle. 오면 means if something comes. 내쉬자 means breathe out. 더 is more, and 뜨거워 means hot. So 더 뜨거워 means hotter. Lastly, 숨 means breath. So it means once winter comes, let's exhale a warmer breath. Here again, you can find rhymes. The preceding line ends with a 춤, and the later line ends with a 숨. Although he failed to run faster than rain clouds, he says, if winter comes, let's not freeze in the cold as it is, but let's breathe out hotter. The impressive part of the next verse is that all lines are written in rhymes. In the last video of Spring Day, I told you most of songs are written in hairstyle, and hairstyle mainly ends with a or a. All sentences in this verse are hairstyle, mostly they end with a. Sentences end similarly in terms of pronunciations. 끝이 보이지 않아? 출구가 있긴 할까? 발이 떼지질 않아. The subject of those verbs is I. He is explaining his own condition. He can't see the end. He doubts if the exit exists, and he can't move his steps. Grammatically, these are declarative sentences. 잠시 두 눈을 감아. 여기 내 손을 잡아. But in these sentences, the subject of the verbs is you. In these sentences, he is telling you to close your eyes and hold his hand. These are very sweet and soft imperative sentences. 저 미래로 달아나자. When you put 자 at the end of sentence, it means let's do this. In this sentence, it means let's run away to the future. This time, it's a request sentence. Like this, although the grammatical characteristics are different, they made good use of the same case of pronunciations. Do you guys remember the school's episode of Run BTS? There, Namjoon introduced himself as Kim Gugo, Kim Korean, but quickly changed himself to Kim Youngho, Kim English, shortly after he got the question wrong. Here's the quiz. What's the word for the question in the following lyrics? 이 음악을 빌려 너에게 나 전할게. The answer is 빌려. 이 is this, 음악 is music. It is an objective particle. 빌려 means by borrowing, 너에게 means to you. 나 전할게 means I'll deliver. So the whole sentence is I'll deliver this to you through the music. The question at the time was whether the expression 이 자리를 빌어 was correct. Not only Namjoon, but all the members were wrong. But I fully understand what they did. Although 빌려 is the correct expression for the definition of words listed in the Korean dictionary, that expression itself, exemplified as a question, is used tremendously in everyday life. In many literary works, numerous broadcasts, and even in the news, people use the expression 이 자리를 빌어. In the dictionary, 빌려 is borrowing and 빌어 is asking or begging. But in everyday life, people tend to use 빌려 to indicate borrowing specific objects with shape, and 빌어 to mean through abstract things such as language, place, opportunity, or music. So in the lyrics, he tries to convey certain meanings through music. So actually, it also sounds natural to say 이 음악을 빌어 in everyday Korean. However, I don't know if it's anything to do with the last quiz, but it's interesting that the lyrics say 이 음악을 빌려 in accordance with the standard grammar rules. In fact, in the past, only 예쁘다 was considered the standard language for pretty, and 이쁘다 was considered wrong, no matter how many people used it. However, as too many people use 이쁘다 even though time passes, it was later designated as a standard language too. The expressions used naturally by many people seem to be considered wrong at first, but later recognized as part of language. Next, when you listen to the lyrics this time, focus on the rhyme. 나 전할게, 다 변했대, 안 변했네. Look at these sentence endings. Don't they look very similar? The meanings of sentences are all different, but the pronunciation is similar. So you can see how talented he is. 나 is I, 전하다 is deliver, 게 is a sentence ending which means will. So this means I'll deliver. 다 means all or everything. 변하다 means change. And that implies you've heard this information from someone else. So even though you didn't check the subject of the sentence, you can notice it might be a third party. On the contrary, you can guess the subject of 안 변했네 is I, because the sentence ending 네 implies to include I think. Let's move on to the J-Hope's verse. 늘 하던 시작과 끝 안녕이란 말로 오늘과 내일을 또 함께 이어보자고. What are the greetings when meeting and parting with people in your country? Some countries have the same greetings when they meet and part, while others are different. Korean is a little different depending on honorifics. When you meet someone, you would say 안녕하세요, and when you say goodbye to someone, you can say 안녕히 가세요. 안녕 means being comfortable without any interruption. So asking 안녕하세요 means do you stay well comfortably, peacefully, and healthily? And 안녕히 가세요 means go and stay well, comfortably, healthily. And when you say in non-honorifics, you just say 안녕 regardless meeting or parting. Let's go back to the Hobi's lyrics. 늘 means always, 하다 means used to, 시작 means start or begin, 끝 means finish or end, 말로 means with words. So 늘 하던 시작과 끝 안녕이란 말로 means with the word 안녕 that we start and finish the day. 오늘 is today, 내일 is tomorrow, and 있다 means thread, link, connect, attach. So it means with the word 안녕 that we start and finish the day. Let's thread tomorrow with today together again. He wants to link today's end to tomorrow's beginning with 안녕. Actually, I feel like the lyrics are really J-Hope-like. I think J-Hope is a symbol of diligence and sincerity. In our lives, the beginning and end of the day, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we face a different situation every moment. Sometimes we laugh, but sometimes we are tired and exhausted. And sometimes we don't get any power to go further. But he seems to say, let's live today and tomorrow by faithfully filling each day with the same greetings. These words themselves are life goes on, just like the title says. On the day they topped the Billboard charts, the members told Hobi, let's cancel dance practice for today. But he did not approve. Instead, he said, then let's practice less today. There was no cancellation of the choreography practice in their dictionary. So members continued to practice on very good days and on very discouraging days. That seems to be the way they say 안녕 to connect today and tomorrow. That's all for today. Thanks for watching till the end. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. See you next time. Bye!